morning, guys. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Okay, I sound crazy, but anyway, boring. Normal is boring. Good morning, guys. Welcome to our channel. It is yet another day, and I am here with an interesting video. Today's episode is special because we are beginning with a question. I have a question to ask. While you are in primary or high school, are there these classmates of yours who used to have very funny behavior? For instance, let me give you an example. Just yesterday, I was on Facebook and I saw this friend of mine. Not even a friend. Let me not say a friend. I'll be lying. I saw this chick we used to be in the same school with. This chile was a thief. You know the people who break people's boxes and then steal your stuff, and then a real thief. Ule wa kuvunja. The ones who would butterfly your box. Ukikuja, when you come from class, ukikuja to the dormitory, you find your box like that. Open. That kind. This human being is now busy after stealing our things and making us suffer. Mpaka nasikia kukuita jina. Now she's on Facebook, social media everywhere, posing with her ass there, protruding. Na mwangalia hivi nasikia kucomment hapo, thief. We know you, thief. Okay, guys, don't say I'm a hater. But are there those classmates of yours that really changed and like you don't know if they stopped the habits they used to have, ama they're still the same people? Wacha tuongelelewa tu addition. Yenye kusema ukweli hapo na hata mimi niko, lakini tuongelewa tu addition. Wale wenye yao ilikuwa serious. The ones who would not fail to go for food twice or thrice. Sai people are slaying on social media with acrylics and human hair and lots of makeup. God, hata mtu akikuangalia sahi haizi jua kama ni wewe ulikuwa unaenda audition ukichapwa. Like in my school it used to be embarrassment galore. Like you'd get so embarrassed in front of the whole school. During lunch hour, the matron would say, ataitana jina ya everybody who's, a member of the audition club. You get embarrassed there, but that would not stop them. I hope you remain that unstoppable even in life while you're chasing your dreams. The same way you are unstoppable when you're going for audition, remain unstoppable even in your dreams. Go after your dreams. I hope nothing stops you. Let's come to class. Yani kuna wale watu, when you are in class, walikuanga wale mbumbumbu. I'm not saying nilikuwa clever, but you do know, I think every school, they say every market has a madman. So every school lazima ikuwe na ule mtu alikuanga number last. But some of you all turned out so well because, your life in school does not necessarily determine who you're going to be in this life. So I'm proud of some of you, especially my classmates. Watu wa Sumbi, hi. Comment down below. Guys, comment with your school, primary school, and your experiences while you were in school. What is it that you loved most about your school? What is it that you hated or you did not like or you'd love them to change? Now, I went to a school in Nyanza. And one of the things that I loved most about my school was we used to have church. We used to go to church every single day. Yeah, if you went to my school, Asumbi Girls Primary Boarding, we used to go to church every day in the morning before we began our classes. So you'd wake up, you go for dawns, and then after dawns, we'd go to church and then come back, take uji, and go to class. So that spiritual nourishment. I was one of the people who used to read the Bible. It was a Catholic church. Nilikuanga nasomanga the first reading most of the times. And I was also among people who are the soloists, the ones who would lead, liturgy, tukiimba hapo. And I used to know how to hit the drum and even play shake the kayamba. Imagine. I don't know what happened. Satan. We have to blame this one on Satan because definitely ni yeye hakuwa anataka nitumikie Mungu. Now that's one thing I used to love about my school. Something else that I used to love about my school is how dedicated our teachers were. You know, our teachers were so dedicated. They'll put their best foot forward just to ensure that we were okay as far as content and learning is concerned. My most memorable moments in high school were visiting days. Visiting days were a big deal. Visiting days, let me tell you, if you have been in a boarding school, you know that visiting days are a big deal. So in my school, it was a big deal, of course, because if you're visited, you get to eat bread, you get to eat mandazi and drink soda. If your parent was like mine and used to have the tactics to sneak in one or two things for you in school, then that was a bonus. My mom up here was very smart. So she knows I love chapatis so much. So she would take chapatis and put them and wrap them and then put them in a wrapper. Ile ya Pampers, she'd put them in such a wrapper. So when parents are being checked at the gate, of course, the watchman would definitely think that those are Pampers. Lakini ni nini? Chapati. And I would enjoy them so much. So you would wait. If your parents come from so far and you don't know if they're coming, it was a sad day for people like that, because if you don't have a friend who would call you to meet their parents and then have their parents buy you something, you'd spend the whole day without a soda, without bread, without a hug from a loved one. So anytime we're opening school, I would always insist and tell my dad and my mom, please don't miss to come on visiting day, because if you don't come, it would be terrible. And I thank my parents because most of the times they would show up. Most of the times they would come for those visiting days. And my dad, because, hey, daddy, I love you. My dad would always come. He would always be the first. Of course, mamangu kitambo ajitayarishe, do her makeup, her hair. Do I look okay? You know women, yeah? My dad would always come first. And when he comes, the first thing we would do is go to the teachers. That is what was expected anyway. So we'd go to the teachers, consult, ask questions here and there. What position am I? The days when I have performed poorly, I was not looking forward to my dad coming. Of course, hakuwa ananikelelesha as much, but you know, it wasn't a good day. But I remember this one time I was position 2. I waited. Nilikuwa tu kwa dirisha ya dormitory waiting to see my parents so that I would run. I knew it was a good day. Pocket money in abundance. Soda in abundance. Lots of hugs and congratulatory messages and all that. That was my school. Guys, don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you have, thank you so much. Like the videos, share. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Be part of the journey so that one day when we get up there, you will be proud to see our channel having prospered. And also, don't forget to share with us. Tell us where you went to school. You might meet a classmate of yours here. And share, tell us about what you loved the most in your school, what you did not love the most, and what you'd love your school to change, what you remember, something you did, or anything. Comment with anything, guys. There's this one time we had a boys' school. I don't know, did you have a boys' school in your school, primary? Sisi ni wale tulianza mapema. Yani mapenzi ilianza kutupeleka mbio mapema, that young. So you'd get yourself a boyfriend. I was still young, so I didn't have a boyfriend, but of course I knew these things. So there's this one time, letters. I think when we went to church, people would circulate the letters, patiana, you know. In church, we were not allowed to mix. The boys would sit here, our boys' school, and then the girls would sit here. Then there was a TTI. They'd always sit at the back. You see, now they're the elder ones, Niwarifu and all that. They can follow the mass from the back. So they would sit from the back, and also the outsiders who attended mass would sit at the back. So one time, our teachers came to discover that we were exchanging letters, you know. And a search was done, and it was so thorough. When the search was done, letters were found in people's desks. Of course, when the searches were done, you'd not know atileo kona search. You'd not know. So when the searches were done, there was an assembly an impromptu, tuite impromptu, tinda though, an impromptu assembly, and in that assembly, people's letters were read. Can you imagine? So umeandikiwa hapo barua na kijana telling you the way he loves you, he misses you, he wants to be next to you, there's nothing he wants more than to be, all those things. You know what they write in those letters? Being read in front of your classmates, in front of your teachers, so your teachers just know who you anapendwa. Mapenzi nampeleka mbio. And then after that, guess what? Viboko. Hey, na nikisema viboko, before the banning of corporal punishment, you know what it means. A line of teachers, unataka kwa huyu, unaenda huyu, unataka huyu, unataka, my friend, you'll come from there, huku nyuma kukiwaka moto, your sitting apparatus is not able to do what they are meant to do properly because of the kind of beating, panel beating you would go through. So those are some of my memories from primary school. There are many. There's also this time. Hey, ooh, don't judge, guys. Promise you won't judge. You promise you won't judge? Okay, whether you judge or not. Anyway, it's my story and I don't care whether you judge. But I know my subscribers are good people and they are not going to judge me. There's this, my school ilikuwa right next to a convent. And that convent used to have trees of avocado trees. And one time we decided to go instead because the fence, it was right next to the compost pit. So you go to the compost and then you jump the fence and then the avocado tree was just there. So there were 3 of us. You know yourselves if you're watching this video. Mpaka nasikia kuwaita na majina. But anyway, so there were 3 of us. One of us was to check if somebody was coming from now our school section. And this person was supposed to multitask because they were supposed to check if somebody is coming from the school, a student or a teacher or anyone. And this other person was to check if there was somebody coming from the convent. Then there was now the 3rd person who was now supposed to anarushiwa, anaingiza, anaficha hapo kwa compost mpaka ile siku zitaiva, then we come and eat them. Hey! Wacha tupatikane. There was a sister who was coming now from the convent section. So whoever was checking shouts, sister. So mwenye alikuwa kwa mti akafanya nini? Akaruka chini. Alikuwa ametoa mpaka viatu. So akakuja, she came running. This person who happened to be the one who was supposed to be holding the avocados thought that the shoes were what? Were avocados. But we used to steal because growing up you need to eat a lot. And we only had 3 meals a day. Breakfast at 7, lunch at 1, and then supper at around 6:37 there. So most of the time ulikuanga na njaa, but you know, you gotta survive. You have to survive. And if you went through boarding school as early as primary school, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, we had to survive because there was no other way out. I remember after the services had been done, after the whole school had been served food, whatever was left would be put in these buckets that were meant for pigs. That food was meant for pigs. And I still remember the guy who used to carry them while taking them to the pigs. So imagine now Jashiba, and then there's this food that is being taken to the pigs. Can you imagine? We even used to steal food from that bucket. Because those who were cleaning the dining hall and some corridors there in the kitchen, you'd be left behind when the others go and start their preps. So kabla huyo mtu wakukuja, wakupelekea the pigs food came, we would take some of the food from the pigs bucket and eat it. And we never got sick, you know. So boarding school, you have to survive. I don't know what, sijui kama nyinyi mlienda zile mashule za maberbe, but for my school, it was survival, and you had to learn how to survive. You wake up in the middle of the night, you are so thirsty, you have no idea what you can do, but you have a karai of water under the bed. You drink from the karai, you know, and you know that the karai is dirty because that same karai has been used to mop, that same karai has been used to clean the toilet. That same karai kuna watu wamesusu ndani, and other cases people even poo-pooed inside, you know, but it has water, so you take it. Atukuwai gonjeka, sijui cholera, typhoid and all that, atukuwai. And you ask yourself how good God can be and how merciful he can be to his children. Wanasemanga Mungu anapenda watoto. And that is I'm a living proof that God does, because the kind of things we used to do back then. Hey, you'd buy bread from the canteen, a whole loaf. Imekushinda kumaliza, so you sneak it into class. In that class, hapo kwa hiyo desk, there's books. Half of the desk is books. This other half ndio iko sasa na hizo others. Party iko hapo, games kit iko hapo, shoe polish iko hapo, and then your bread iko tu hapo. Unaona hapo katikati ya the slippers na katikati ya slippers na games kits, that is where you shove your bread, and we'd eat it. And you'd never hear people getting sick. As a matter of fact, sisi ulikuanga unasikianga mtu ni mgonjwa, maybe ni malaria, ama mtu amepatwa na boils. But ati outbreak ya cholera, sijui kuna typhoid, sijui mtu anaumwa na tumbo, haungewahi sikia. But then we used to eat very funny things. Take very funny water. Majenye mpaka unaona iko na worms, literally, but you take it. So if you went to the same school with me, of course, you understand what I am talking about. Maybe there are things that are common in my school that used to happen in yours. Don't forget to comment down below. In the next video, I will be doing a video of my experiences, my high school experience, and probably I will be hosting somebody special in my channel. So guys, subscribe. The road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. If you haven't, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime I have new videos, you are going to be the first ones to view. Thank you for your time, guys. To my subscribers, I love you so much, and I appreciate you. My viewers, I also love and appreciate you so much. Until next time, thank you so much. Should I say I have been your host? Well, I hope to host something one day. But anyway, thank you for your time, guys. Bye. Until next time. Bye. Love you. Mwah.